Welcome to part 2 of the video presenting the Ultimate Martial Arts, the best of Inside Kung Fu magazine. And we have found this little article, or this little piece of text on the claims of how Bruce Lee, the legendary martial artist, film star, philosopher, creator of Jeet Kune Do, died. The death of Bruce Lee. No one has made a stronger, more lasting effect and impression on the martial arts than Bruce Lee. Even Robert Trias and Ed Parker, founders of the original karate schools in America, haven't had as much impact on as broad a scale. And as with any superstar, his untimely death has been at the heart of many theories and wild speculations over the last several years. Refusing to accept the fact that the man simply got sick and died was and is too much of a strain on the minds of the hero-worshipping public. Lee, the dragon, was immortal, invincible. How could he just die? There had to be some form of insidious foul play. His death, tragic though it is, has been perverted and twisted into fanciful, often farcical, in a grim sort of way, accounts of murder and terror. Dozens of unauthorized and unsubstantiated tales, unmindful of the medical truth, have sprung up in the last few years to fill the void of doubt concerning his death. These fables, fabricated by the mourning and the money-hungry, the grieving and the greedy, have circulated and now almost completely obscure, if not obliterate the truth. A cross-section of these myths might include some of the following gems, all of which have been drawn from movie plots, so-called fan magazines, and from data recorded by the survey. Lee was executed by members of the Shaolin Temple for betraying secrets, as Lee was not a Shaolin, nor was his parent art Wing Chun, a Shaolin discipline, not to mention his iconoclastic Jeet Kune Do, JKD. This holds little water. This misconception may have come out of Lee's role as a monk in Enter the Dragon, in which he played a character with the same name as his own. Lee was executed by members of the Dong for the various infractions. It's like a Chinese triads, including A. having an American wife, B. not forking over a healthy chunk of his earnings to the Dong, C. killing some Dong members in a private duel, D. killing the head no less of the San Francisco Dong in a grudge match, E. busting up a Dong drug business. He was killed by the ghost of his master Yip Man for forsaking Wing Chun and creating JKD. He was killed by whomever for betraying the jealously guarded secret of the One Punch. He was accidentally electrocuted while using his own muscle building machinery. Odd how they missed that during the autopsy. After all, electrocution does have certain telltale signs. Want more? Bruce Lee died of an overdose of narcotics. Different stories suggest heroin, cocaine, quaaludes, acid and so on. Yeah, that's the latest supposed discovery in his notes, that he was using cocaine, supplied by actor from Fist of Fury Chinese Connection, Bob Baker. We have read that he smuggled in some sort of very powerful hash or marijuana from Tibet. Apparently had this little bug on it, and doctor said you better stop smoking that stuff when he went for an exam. He said he's got the body of an 18-year-old, but stop smoking that stuff, because that strand of marijuana could kill you, because of this little bug that lives on and all this other sorts of stuff. It's too potent. Yeah, but he just brushed it off and kept using it apparently. And also Bob Baker was smuggling in illegal weapons, right? Like Bruce Lee had a belt, it had like a attachable knife on it or something like that, or in it, all this sort of stuff. This is what we read. Okay, so apparently Bruce Lee died of an overdose of narcotics. Different stories suggest heroin, cocaine, quaaludes, acid, and so on. One magazine even stated that he died of a marijuana overdose. It has been discovered that he did ingest cannabis, pot leaf, but I'd hardly think that in medical science supports me, this writer, that anyone could die from it. Who's overdosed from marijuana? He was beaten to death by narcotics officers during a drug bust. even if Lee had been involved with some sort of drug bust, which he wasn't. I doubt a couple of cops could have knocked his lights out. He shot himself because he was tired of living, not a dynamo like Lee, even though he was under tremendous strain during his last days. With the game of death in the works, he was anything but the suicidal type. Yeah, he had his kids in mind, you know. Well, you want to do that? He loved his kids, he loved his wife. In fact, after one collapse prior to his death, he told his wife he was going to fight to live. Probably on the set of Enter the Dragon, right? Etc. He was killed by a renegade monk with the delayed death touch, or Damak, or some other fanciful method of assassination. For various philosophical, materialistic, or political motivations, whoever thought that one up has definitely overdosed on a pilot film for Kung Fu. Renegade monk indeed. Well, you get the basic idea. There are all manner of gruesome, unlikely, improbable, and outright ridiculous methods and reasons for his death. Consolidated, these concoctions would be excellent for the fertilization of a very large field. But neither electrocution, delayed death touch, nor a gunshot wound stole his life. In truth, he died of cerebral edema, a drastic swelling of the brain fluids, which caused intolerable pressure on the brain and cranium. The edema, which he had been treated for previously, was possibly triggered by a pain-killing narcotic, Inosanto, which he took to ease the terrible headaches that had plagued him for some time. Unfortunately, the Inosanto, his first uses of the medicine, contained the chemicals meprobamate and aspirin. He was probably allergic to one or the other, or both. In any case, the result was the same. The edema swelled and he died. Very simple, very straightforward, incredibly tragic, yes, but his death was not, nor should it ever have been, the stuff of pulp fiction and wild speculation. As an actor, Lee gave us four memorable movies, one of which was Enter the Dragon, became the standard against which all other martial arts films are measured. As a martial artist, his skill was consummate, and his grasp of the science of body conditioning and movement very rarely rivaled. He gave us much in the way of free thought and no-nonsense combat theory, and his own personal abilities were unquestioned. He was not, however, the Superman of the movies. Death by natural causes does not take the life of Superman. Bruce Lee, the man, succumbed. It is time to allow him to rest in quiet, undisturbed peace. The problems with demonstrations. The late Bruce Lee boosted the martial arts into the limelight. Though he did not accomplish this single-handedly, and most of his effect was posthumous, he was the guiding force and a major factor. Words like Kung Fu became household if misunderstood terms during this heyday of the arts, roughly 1971 to 74, and lingering on into the current media revival. One of the most common elements of the public martial arts has been the demonstration. Demos, though exciting to watch, can often fill the viewing public with some incredibly off-the-point misconceptions about what the martial arts are, and what they can do. And that's what Bruce Lee did. Took all that fanciful rubbish, or the BS he said it was, 98% of it is BS, and he showed people the beauty of the Chinese culture, etc., and real martial arts, without all the gimmicks and all the traditional mess. Doesn't look like there's anything more on Bruce Lee here. Can't see any more. And it continues on with other martial art styles, theory, practices, and more. If you like this short video, then subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below in the comment section, and we'll get back to you on those as soon as we can. And then go share this video about the extraordinary, legendary martial artist Bruce Lee, etc., with all your family, friends, and neighbours.